Hi, I'm Paige Padgett, and I'm here with Patti Pao, founder and CEO of Restorsea. We're here at Cornelius, the gorgeous restaurant in Bergen, Norway. Hi, Patti.
Hi, Paige.
Thank you for having me here.
So we're so happy that you're here with us because we wanted you to experience the Restorsea story. I like to say it started with a hike, a hatchery, and hands. So I had my consulting firm, the Pao Principal, since 2005, and in 2008 I started doing a lot of business in Norway. And I had a lot of clients, and my clients were very upset that I never left Oslo. So one of them said, "Oh, you should see Bergen." And I'm like, "Really? Why would I want to see Bergen?" And they're like, "Because Bergen is the most beautiful part of Oslo." I go, "Why?" They said, "Mountains, fjords, water." I go, "What's a fjord?" And they're like, "Oh, it's an underground mountain, right, that comes out of the sea." I'm like, "All right." I go, "How do I see it?" They go, "Well, the best way to do it is to hike." So I'm Chinese, I don't like the great outdoors, and I really don't like nature. And I'm not in very good shape. And so literally day one, there was a hike that was supposed to take 7.5 hours. It took me 12. So on day two, I was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to get out of this hike. So as we're driving to the next mountain, the driver goes, "Oh look, we're passing Lagerpolen." And I go, "What's Lagerpolen?" And the driver said, "Norway's largest salmon hatchery." But I was like, "Do you think they give tours?" And the guy in the back goes, "Well, you know, Patti, if we take the tour, we're not gonna be able to hike." So we went on a tour of the salmon hatchery so I could get out of hiking.
Mission accomplished.
It was great. So we're walking through the hatchery, and the head of the hatchery was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine. What do you mean?" He goes, "You look a little funny." And I go, "Actually, I have kind of a personal question." And he's like, "What is it?" And I go, "Look, I don't want to be rude because Norwegians are very polite." And he goes, "That's all right. You can ask us." And I go, "What is going on with everyone's hands?" He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, everyone's hands look like they're 20, but their faces look like they're 50. And he goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "When the baby salmon are born, they release an enzyme, and that enzyme enables them to get out of their shell." And I go, "Okay." And he said, "And that enzyme is found to be exfoliating. The fluid from the baby salmon hatching is very hydrating. It has anti-aging properties, and also the eggshells actually are structural proteins that strengthen the skin." Yeah, that's what I said. And that's kind of what started it. And I was able to find Professor Walter, who actually had spent 30 years studying this, and he actually took the fluid from after the water from the baby salmon that would have been thrown away, right? So this is kind of sustainable as well, because it would have just been discarded. He filtered it and got the enzyme and began to market it. And he and I got together, and we were able to get this exclusively for our product. And it was so exciting because it was the first all-natural product, because we were completely natural. So it was the first all-natural product that actually worked. And we knew it worked because we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in third-party independent clinical studies. So we are dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested, we won't clog pores, we're hypoallergenic, we're safe for sensitive skins. And we did a 12-week clinical study with 50 women with incredible befores and afters.
What was the results?
Well, what you'll see is after 2 weeks, you'll actually feel smoother and softer skin. After 4 weeks, you'll see a fading of your age spots, and you'll also see a diminishment of the appearance of lines and wrinkles. And after 8 weeks, I say your skin will be completely transformed, because what you'll see is the Restorsea glow. You'll see a completely even skin tone, you'll see softer skin, you'll see hydrated skin, and you'll see stronger looking skin.
Younger, more youthful?
Better.
Just better. I like that.
Better.
Good. There are plenty of organic skincare lines out there. What makes this so unique? I know it's active. It's one of the few really active products.
Yes.
And it also marries science with organics.
And nature.
And nature.
Yes.
So explain a little bit about that. And
well, there's a big void. So there's a big void in the market, right? Because until Restorsea, you could have all natural products, but you had to give up on efficacy, because there's a lot of beautiful natural products that actually take a long time to work. Or you can have products that work very quickly, but they're full of chemicals. And don't get me wrong, I love peptides, but I believe that the market is really asking for and moving towards all natural products that provide those same kinds of benefits.
Right.
Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And our product is very unique in that, so it's very hard, as you know, because you're the green expert, it's very hard to formulate an all-natural product and have it be stable. And so what we needed to do is we actually had to formulate a completely different emulsion system. Our emulsion system is very unique and it's based on what keeps bread together. It makes it very springy. And so it's what people love about our formula because it's very light but deeply hydrating, right? It's very moisturizing but not greasy. People love the smell, right? Because it's an allergen-free white tea.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. It's light, but super, super, super hydrating.
It's light and soft, but the smell is like soft and light, and it smells fresh.
That's what we wanted. Thank you so much. Yeah, and we wanted something again that was suitable for even the most sensitive skins. It was natural.
Norway is the leader in Europe in terms of sustainability and being eco-friendly. How do the people incorporate nature into their daily lives?
Well, it's really interesting. I love the Norwegians. Well, first of all, they live for the great outdoors, right? So from the time they're born, they're strapped in the backpack, either on skis or on hikes. So they all learn to live and love nature. But what I love about their philosophy is that, you're born, you live, you die. But you know what? The life you live should be the best life ever, and they actually extend that philosophy to their livestock. So, a funny example was that when I was hiking, I was hiking up 3,000 feet. So there was all these sheep, and I was like, oh, that's nice. They're all eating fresh mountain herbs and drinking, from the mountain streams, because Norway's so clean you can do that. We just put our water bottles there and can drink. I'm like, oh, we could exercise at their free range. And I was talking to one of the shepherds, and I'm like, that's so cool. He goes, you should come in September for the Lamb Festival. And I go, the Lamb Festival? And I go, where's the lamb come from? He goes, from them.
Oh, no.
And I was like, huh. He goes, what did you think happened? And I go, I don't know. I thought you just gathered them and they lived in the barn for the winter. He goes, no. He goes, they're raised for food and you can't romanticize it. But he said, but think about it. They live the best life they possibly can. And the same extends to the baby salmon, right? That we get the hatching fluid from. So they actually are born, right? About tens of thousands of them are born. They're actually pre-sold as food because they're like legal tender, right? Like grain or soybeans. But so they're actually known that they're going to be sold for food, but they're born, they're completely well treated, they are vaccinated, hand vaccinated, they live very well, they're fed very well, and everybody at the hatcheries strive to bring that same philosophy to the fish.
So during this process, you're harvesting the water, nothing is harmed because of the process.
Nothing is harmed because of the process. So if you could just imagine tens of thousands of salmon hatching on the equivalent of a gigantic cookie sheet, right? And they're orange eggs, and they're all hatching at the same time because they all have to be the same size, right? So it's like popcorn, pop, 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 pop. And that's why these people's hands, the workers' hands look so young. They're herded into their various tanks. So our ingredient is stored in a cave here in Bergen, and the reason why is it's actually the most logical place to do it. It's very energy efficient and it's very reliable because in a power outage, we don't want our ingredient to thaw because it's a living being. I mean, it doesn't have a soul, but it's living, right? So at 107.8 degrees, it dies. It performs the best when it's frozen, and it's very important that we keep it at that temperature until we actually mix it into our formula.
Okay, so it's temperamental. How do you formulate that?
Well, it was really interesting that you asked because the formula was a little tricky because most skincare formulas that actually work are at a pH of 4, but our little enzyme can only live at a pH at 7.5 and above. So we're like, oh God. And so that's why we actually had to create our own emulsion system, the bread emulsion system, and we had to actually build our home around the little enzyme.
That's sweet.
Yeah. He works very hard for us.
Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, tell me, how do you preserve it? Because I know it's all natural.
It is all natural, and that was hard too. It's a plant-based preservative system. It's honeysuckle. Again, we went through many different preservative systems because the system has to live with the enzyme. And what we found is that it worked the best in this honeysuckle preservative system.
And this cream is good for all skin types, universal? Any age?
Surprisingly so. I created it for myself, but it ended up having very broad appeal with women who were 25, women who were 70, women of all ethnicities, and everyone seemed to love it because it actually worked for them.
Nice. Well, you have gorgeous skin, so you're a great living testimony.
Thanks, so do you.
Thank you.
But I know you're using it, so it's
I am using it.
It's kind of good.
Yeah. Thank you, Patti, for being here.
Thank you, Paige. I'm starving. Let's go eat.
Let's do it. I'm Paige Padgett for Daily Glow.